Hey, what's up, guys? This is Kyle Jones with Jones Sport Fishing, and this is your weekly Brewster, Sockeye, and Summer Chinook report. And as you can see from the sign behind me, I am not in Brewster, but Barry has, and fishing has been awesome. I've been on a camping trip with my family, and we just moseyed down into town today since it's Monday to get some work done and get caught up on calls. But yeah, so here's your guys' report. The sockeye fishing has been lights out, and then Barry's also been whacking Chinook every single day. We're getting sockeye and Chinook. Today, Barry was able to get a limit of both sockeye and Chinook. So that's one of the really cool things about our trips is we don't sell you just a sockeye trip. We sell a summer salmon trip. We are fishing Chinook and we're fishing sockeye, and most of the time the techniques that we're coming out with in the morning and fishing with our 360 flashers and our smaller spinner setups, you know, smile blades, that kind of thing behind, we are actually fishing at Chinook speeds and targeting Chinook, and then we load up on those sockeye because we kind of got a little thing figured out with that they'll bite those things too, as long as you get the right presentation. You'll get those sockeye, especially in the morning. Not saying that the guys fishing Dodgers might not be getting them a little bit faster than we are, but shoot, it doesn't seem to matter. And we're putting a bunch of big kings in the boat too. So that's been the report, is more of the same. Pink shrimp. My big thing with those shrimp is lots of krill, lots of anise, those kinds of things in those shrimp help. Hopefully one of these days I'll do a shrimp brine cure, maybe going into steelhead season. We'll do a shrimp brine cure kind of on, we've got a number of different videos out on how we do shrimp, and the way we've got the video, it's down below a ways, but we've got a video on how we dry brine shrimp with egg cure pretty much, and you just go ahead and dump a liberal amount of egg cure of whatever your favorite is on the shrimp, and you can have shrimp that are fishing in 3 or 4 days. Currently we've been using kind of a wet brine that is pretty simple, but it takes, you know, 8, 9, 10 days to kind of get it right where it needs to be. So we'll come out with that video in the future, so look for that. But yeah, guys, in the mornings, sockeye and Chinook, they're typically a little bit shallower, and then after we get those sockeye limits, I know Barry's been dropping his lines a little bit deeper. He's probably fishing, you know, 12s and 10s and stuff, 30, 35, 40 on the counter, that kind of thing, and also moving around. Sometimes right there in the Brewster Pool with all the boats is not the best spot to catch Chinook. A lot of times they're in a little bit different spots. They don't like all that pressure, and even though they're in there, sometimes maybe those fish won't bite as well. So play around with things, play around with your speed, play around with how far behind your flasher your stuff is, and really watch those electronics, guys. One of the biggest tips that I see when guys are fishing that Brewster Pool is that we're doing really, really well, but if you watch what we're doing, we are staring at our electronics, and when we're seeing fish and we're seeing pods of fish, we are targeting those fish. We're not just trolling all over the place, you know, just kind of randomly hoping to pop on some fish. I mean, that works, but it doesn't necessarily, it's not the necessary thing that's going to lead to those fast limits like we put up. If you're just wanting to be chill and hang out and kind of fish where the crowds aren't as bad, then yeah, hang out. You can be on the outside, you can troll around and get fish. But man, like, one of the things that we do to really load up on them is we get on those fish, we stay on those fish, and we're all over that graph. We know we've got our split screen going with our graph and our mapping. We know exactly, and we've all mapped the pool ourselves. So we've taken and we've drawn the maps of where those ledges and stuff are. So we are watching our track, and we're able to repeat exactly where we're going as we're trying to dodge boats and everything too. So just remember that, guys. Some of you guys, I mean, you gotta keep an eye on that graph. You gotta know where you're fishing, what your gear's doing, be paying attention. And then the other thing too is I'll see a lot of guys trolling around and I'll watch their rods get bit, and then they don't ever reel it in. These sockeye can come up and snag that shrimp off there, and you don't even hardly know it. So our big thing is, if a rod hasn't got bit in a while, we bring those baits up and we change them. So fresh baits constantly. Yeah. And anyway, guys, Barry's going to be in Brewster for this one more week, and then we're both headed out to the coast in Astoria. And so we still have a little bit of openings out there. So we've got some days where some seats are open, and we've got a couple of days where my whole boat's open. So the 10th and 11th, my boat's open. Barry's got a couple of days where he's got a fair amount of seats open. I've got a day where I've only got 2 people booked, so I've got 4 seats open that day. So make sure you guys get a hold of us. Oh yeah, I've got the 10th, 11th, and the 15th. totally open. So open boats those days. I'd like to keep those. I'd like to fill those as an open boat, but give our office a call and we'll get you guys all set up. Anyway, God bless, and thanks for watching this, guys. Appreciate it. Bye.